Have you ever been so scared to introduce yourself to someone that you're not quite sure whether you can get your name out of your mouth? 72% of people do not even like the word networking. We did a survey and found that people just can't stand the word, let alone actually doing networking. However it is that you personally define networking, what happens is we all get nervous. We clamp up a little bit. We wonder what it is that we're going to say. We forget to talk about the things that we're truly passionate about. We stop breathing. We start to sweat. We worry about our name. We worry about their name. We turn into a scaredy cat. If that's you and you're a scaredy cat and are struggling to network on and off the screen with people, I have a system that can help you. That can help you overcome those challenges that are natural to all of us. I've been working with people for more than 25 years, but let me take you back to about age 13. This was before cell phones. This was before you could text your friends. I got a phone line. It was the greatest thing. I was on it all the time. I was calling people. I was making connections. I was arranging people to talk to one another. I was setting up parties. I was working the phones. It was a natural thing. It just came naturally to me. But then every once in a while, as my career developed, I realized, you know what? I still get nervous in big rooms, and I've been teaching people how to network for more than 25 years. So deep down, we're all scaredy cats. It's figuring out how do we do this. So I can teach anyone, any one of you today how to juggle, and I can teach any one of you how to network if you have any of that scaredy cat feelings. There are 3 ways to do this. First, you have to start with your result. What is it that you want? So I've got a little prop here for you. So any of you that know how to juggle, please raise your hand. Anybody know how to juggle? No one? No one? Okay, well, I can teach all of you how to juggle. Because what you want to do is start with, what is the result that you want? Imagine you have the bottom of the box and the top of the box. What's the result that I want? I'm going to throw that ball up in the upper corner. Not a pass, up to the upper corner, okay? What is the result that you want? Because one of my clients came to me and he said, you know what, Paper, everybody calls me Paper. He goes, Paper, I got a team, I'm taking them to a big conference, we're investing a lot of money in this, but you know what? They're terrified to connect with people. They're gonna all stand and talk to each other. They don't have good LinkedIn profiles and they're nervous. Can you help me? I said, of course, that's what I do. So we got together and we started with our result because the result that we wanted was, can they work on their sales goals? Can they make more connections on and off the screen? In the course of our training, we were able to take those people from being scared to being able to be successful with it. They learned things like, how do you show up? How do you know yourself well enough that you can ask those questions that make you more powerful to connect with someone in a more genuine manner? Questions as simple as, but complicated to get out of your mouth when you're nervous. What is it that you do? What do you do in your hobbies? What do you like to do? Personally, what are you involved in? Or who is your ideal client? Doing the preparation to have that result top of mind helped this group accomplish what they want. They also looked at their LinkedIn profile, so they were reminded again of like, why are they good? Why are they on this team? Why are they delivering award-winning work and going down to this conference and doing it? So that pit in your stomach of being a scaredy cat networker came to life and they were able to have conversations. They came back from this conference with more connections. Instead of talking to one another, they met other people. They brought people into their groups. They made the connections that were powerful. And that result that they achieved was more than 25% growth, 25% more appointments. And year over year growth, they've doubled in size. They've grown, their confidence has grown, not just the leaders and the new business people, but all the employees that were working there. So if you feel at all scared and unable to think about networking, what you want to do is think with your results. Start with that. Start with that result that you want. The next step that you want to do is you want to think about who are the people that you're going to be networking with. Who are they? So maybe you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know what, I don't even have a network. I don't know who my people are. I don't know who it is that I want to talk to. Well, you know what? If you have a phone, and preferably a cell phone, and you have an email system, and you have maybe 1 or 2 clients, you have a network. You just maybe have not spent enough time thinking about who are those people that are in your network, because maybe you heard somebody say you need 500 plus LinkedIn connections, and that number seemed daunting to you, so you stopped. You stopped going on LinkedIn, you stopped thinking about building your connections, and you started to really freeze up. Well, Ben came to me and this is ball number 2. Okay, so Ben comes to me and he says, you know, actually Ben was sent to me. I should rephrase that. Ben was sent to me by the owner of the company and said, could you please help him? He has joined 10 organizations. He is all over town networking. He has overspent his budget on entertainment. He is tired and he is not delivering results. So when I went to Ben, I said, Ben, tell me about your network. Again, bottom of the box, top of the box. Ben's going to throw that people area to the bottom of the box to the top of the box. Okay, so we sit down and I say, let's talk about your people, Ben. Do you have an all-star network? And he said, you know what? I have a lot of people, but I don't know who my people are. I said, well, how do you know who are the people that are going to take your phone call? How do you know who are the people that are going to help you with the results that you want to get? Who are those people that you can count on? Who are your referral sources? Do you have a categorization so that you know who are the most important people? And I'm not saying you tell people what category they're in, but do you know who's in your network and what they can do for you and what you can do for them? He looked at me and said, you know what? I have no idea. I've just been collecting new people. I said, okay, here's what I want you to do. Take 15 minutes, go back to your desk, look at your phone, look at your email, look at your appointments, and let's start building that all-star network list. Think about who are those people that you have and who are those people that you really want. So Ben went back and he came back to me and he said, you know, Cathy, I'm a little worried about this. He said, I only have 24 names. I said, Ben, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Do you have the right people in your all-star network? We started to work on that. And sure enough, the more that he started to think of who are his people and being strategic about building reciprocal relationships, authentic relationships, he was able to build that all-star network. And when I called him the other day just to say, hey, can I tell your story to people? Because when you came to me, you seemed a little discouraged and overwhelmed and wondering if this whole networking thing was going to pay off for you. And he said, of course you can tell people. And I said, so what would I tell people? And he said, tell them that I'm much more intentional with my network. Tell them that now I know who will help me and who do I want to help. Now we have a collaborative relationship. Now I have people that are working with me to actually drive my goals. That's what an all-star network is. So the final thing is to really think about, because of course juggling is about 3 balls, not 2 balls, is to think about what's your process. What is your process and the things that you're going to be able to do day to day? So again, I've got the bottom of the box, the top of the box, and I take that ball and no passing. So those of you that are going to juggle, and I'll teach you this after this, no passing. Top of the box, bottom of the box, because you need to breathe. You need to take time for each of these skills to think in and to work together. So the bottom part of the process is to really have a process. What is it that you do? So in the years that I've been working with people like you, is I start thinking about what are you doing each day? We talk about what are your daily activities? What are your monthly activities? What are your weekly activities? What does it look like? What do you do online? A lot of us are people that just read on LinkedIn. 42% of people go on there every single day. If you're on LinkedIn and you've never hit the like button or never made a comment, I challenge you to think about what is your process with making connections and staying connected to your network. What are you doing to fuel that, to develop that skill? So working on that process can happen as quickly and efficiently as taking 1 hour a day or less to be intentional about what it is that you're doing. And when we work together on your process, you're going to find the process that works for you, because not everybody networks and builds connection the same way. We want to find your personal style. So back to the final juggling analogy, because now we've got all these 3 things and we have to put them together. And what I say is start with 1. Figure out the bottom of the box and the top of the box. When the ball gets to the upper corner, you throw the other one. You throw it in there. You take a deep breath. You think, what's my result? What's the process that I want to use? And then when you really think, okay, I know what I'm doing, who are the people that I want to connect with? How am I connecting with them? And you take a deep breath. And you know what? If I drop these, it doesn't matter. If you drop them when you network with someone, we all make mistakes in our relationships. You start thinking, okay, now you want to catch it. You want to think about what are you doing. I put them in 2 hands, and of course you get a little nervous because you're like, okay, I'm juggling in front of all these people. Well, you can turn around. You can just juggle yourself and think about your process, or you juggle with a buddy. Build a network with somebody else and start thinking, how do I do it? Start slowly, right? Start slowly and pass them back and forth. And then all of a sudden you're juggling. And you're juggling them and you're building your network and you're no longer a scaredy cat. You start to breathe, you build that network, you make those connections. And that's what I've got for you today, and we can dive into deeper detail further on in today. Thanks.